Hello, this is Gio. Hey, what you're looking at right here is a portable VCR from 1985, the Portavideo VP-3100. Now, I called it a VCR, but it's actually considered a VCP or a video cassette player since this unit actually doesn't record anything. It only plays videos. So in the 1980s, very few people had VCRs, but you could still rent video cassettes and actually rent a portable VCR or VCP player to play those videos you just rented. These type of video players were also very popular with companies who like to either present videos during presentations or show advertisements at conventions. But I'm not here to talk about the history of VCRs. This particular VCR has a problem, and I'll show you what that problem is right now. So here I'm putting in a movie tape to demonstrate what the issue is. I go ahead, hit the power, and hit play. And then see what comes up on the screen.
Now my brothers found out that you can generate electrical currents.
You can see the image, but soon you heard sound initially, but now you don't see any sound and you see a little bit of static. I'll go ahead and stop the recording or stop the playing and hit play again. You'll hear sound again initially.
An LA story.
Sheila, she's the one who's going.
And then the sound disappears and you get a little bit of static. And it keeps on doing this. It doesn't seem to, it's not consistent. Every time I hit play or fast forward or rewind and play it again, it will play sound for a little while, but then the sound will conk out. But that's not all. After I take the tape out and examine the tape, I notice there's some damage to the tape on the bottom. So something's happening to the tape which is causing the sound to disappear and also the video to become staticky. There's actually some damage going on to the tape. And that's what I want to solve today. So the first thing we need to do is take the actual VCR out of its carrying case. And to do this, you have to turn the unit around, and there's two little bolts that hold the case together. Unfortunately, the heads of these bolts are round, and so you kind of have to take some needle nose pliers and kind of pry these things open. They're not that difficult to turn, they're just kind of difficult to grab, so it kind of takes a few minutes to get these things out of there. And once the bolts are removed, it's really easy to remove the VCR. Just open up the case and remove the unit. So to remove the cover from the VCR, there are 4 screws that are under these little rubber mats that you need to remove first. But before we remove those 4 screws, we first want to remove the cover to the tape holder itself because you can't remove the VCR cover without first removing this lid. And this is what it looks like inside the VCR. So now that we have the lid removed, I'm going to try the tape again to see if I could find the issue which is causing the damage to the tape. And there it is. Right as the tape re-enters the VHS cassette, you can see that the tape is actually moved downward along the tape guide and is now rubbing against the bottom of the cassette itself, and that's what's causing the damage. So why is this occurring? Well, the most common reasons for this condition has to do with either the pinch roller, which you see here, or the capstan, which the pinch roller kind of moves against to help guide the tape back into the cassette. Now, examining the capstan, you can see that there's two areas of black, kind of a hard accumulation, and that's where the capstan comes in contact with the pinch roller when the pinch roller moves towards it. And it's just basically a deposit over time. And it's not the easiest stuff to clean off. It is pretty hard, but you can use isopropyl alcohol and, let's say, a Q-tip or a paper towel to try to soften it and clean it off. And it will take some time. It will take a lot of softening, but you can get it cleaner. And there you go. It's quite a bit cleaner, but this is after about a half an hour worth of effort. So it's not perfect, but it's cleaner. So examining the pinch roller looks pretty good. It's a little shiny, but I don't see any obvious signs of cracks or other signs of damage. So I figured I'd just test out the tape again, but I'm still having the same issue with the tape. And so maybe the capstan wasn't the sole problem. So let's focus on the pinch roller now. So I do want to get the pinch roller out. So there is a screw with a Phillips head up on top. And so initially I just tried to remove that screw, but that screw seems pretty well stuck in there and I can't budge it at all. And so the removal of the screw apparently is not an option at this point. So I decided to remove the whole mechanism, and the pinch roller with the little lever arm is held together by a little C-clamp, or sometimes it's an E-clamp. So I need to pull that out with some needle nose pliers and just remove the entire pinch roller assembly. So I really want to get this pinch roller out of there, but unfortunately that screw just will not budge, and therefore I'm having to drill out the screw so I could remove the pinch roller. Now normally if this was about 20 or 30 years ago, I would just order a new pinch roller. Unfortunately, you really can't replace these things, so I'm kind of having to deal with what I have. So what I'm going to be doing is just kind of lubricate the pinch roller with some mineral oil to try to kind of soften up the rubber. And then I'm going to reinstall it the opposite direction. So instead of installing it the way I took it out, I'm going to flip it over and reinstall it the opposite way. And hopefully that will solve my problem by allowing the tape to kind of move in a more natural position. Well, I do have to make a pilot hole in the assembly so I could install a new screw to hold down the pinch roller. And here I'm adding a little bit of white lithium grease so the pinch roller will roll freely. Secure the pinch roller. Again, pinch roller is in the opposite direction than I removed it. And then it's just a matter of reinserting the pinch roller assembly and reinstalling the E-clip to hold it in place. And then it's just a matter of retesting a tape. So here I am testing it out, and sure enough, it's no longer writing at the bottom of the guidepost at the tape. So it looks like our little repair worked. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please hit that like button at the bottom of the screen, and even consider subscribing to my channel. I have many more videos to come. Bye-bye.